My name is PatrycjaZwierzynska.
And what brought you to Akin, and how long have you been here?
I have been here since November of last year, so it's been 4 months.
Really?
And I moved out of a space that I was renting not too far from here. It used to be more of a jewelry studio that I was sharing with a couple other jewelers who ended up leaving, and once they left, I was the only one left in the space, and it just got to be really isolated.
Yeah.
So I had my little corner in the back of a shop, and I was so used to working in kind of a collaborative environment and that kind of thing, and I just really wanted to get back into that. And there was another Akin space in the building that I was in, and I toured that, and then eventually I settled on this one, and I arrived here. So
And what do you see as being the benefit of being at Akin for you?
For me, it was this aspect of community and the possibility of collaborating with other people on things either related to what you actually do or not. But yeah, I think that there is a big strength to having other people around when you do something creative, and even just kind of understanding what's going on in a way. Like when I was working by myself, and it was probably only a year, but really I started to feel kind of feral, like I was just so removed from everything that was happening, and I wasn't, but it really felt that way, and it had that effect. So I think that is a major thing. So my experience has been that I have been displaced from another workspace, and it was a collective that we had formed and worked on really hard, and just did art programming, had studio spaces, had a big space to run events and galleries and our gallery exhibitions out of, and that kind of stuff, and then essentially we lost that space. So I think that was kind of a big blow. And since then, I've kind of been thinking a lot about how accessible that kind of environment is, and right now it doesn't feel like it is. It just feels like it's this mass migration of people, and it makes it really difficult to establish something meaningful when you're constantly asked to remove yourself and set up somewhere else and start new. And I don't think that should be something that somebody else has that amount of power over your situation to make happen. And I think that Toronto is a really unique place, and I think that there are a lot of things that go on here, and there are a lot of amazing things that go on here as far as culture, arts, and community is concerned. And I don't always feel like those are fostered at a municipal level or at any larger political level either. Even though the city does talk a lot about how much they appreciate having those things and how attractive that is for people who are visiting the city or who live in the city or who want to live in the city. And so I feel like there's this big disconnect between appreciating those things and having that be something that is really useful for people, but also not having in any way any sort of support that would be able to sustain that. And there is and I don't remember if this is Margaret Mead who said this, but there's a quote that said, "New ideas need old spaces," and I think that Jane
Jacob.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And I think that is a really apt thing. I think that if you want to establish something, if you want to have these environments to work in and to thrive, then there has to be some security around that as well. So I'm, at the basic level, I'm hoping that there is a shift in thinking, and I really do wish that there was some recourse at least for dealing with it. I do understand too that displacement and moving is something that is a part of being in a city, but I wish that the people who were affected by it had a little bit more choice over what that displacement would be like, or what that move would be like, and you could decide, when it was going to be beneficial for you to do that, rather than to be told that you have to whenever. So.